on poets. Since I have come to know the body better, Zarathustra said to one of his disciples, the spirit is to me only quasi-spirit, and all that is permanent is also mere parable. I have heard you say that once before, the disciple replied, and at that time you added, but the poets lie too much. Why did you say that the poets lie too much? Why? Said Zarathustra. You ask, why? I am not one of those whom one may ask about their why. Is my experience but of yesterday? It was long ago that I have experienced the reasons for my opinions. Would I not have to be a barrel of memory if I wanted to carry my reasons around with me? It is already too much for me to remember my own opinions, and many a bird flies away. And now and then I also find a stray in my dovecot that is strange to me and trembles when I place my hand on it. But what was it that Zarathustra once said to you? That the poets lie too much? But Zarathustra, too, is a poet. Do you now believe that he spoke the truth here? Why do you believe that? The disciple answered, I believe in Zarathustra. But Zarathustra shook his head and he smiled. Faith does not make me blessed, he said, especially not faith in me. But suppose somebody said in all seriousness, the poets lie too much. He would be right. We do lie too much. We also know too little, and we are bad learners. So we simply have to lie. And who among us poets has not adulterated his wine? Many a poisonous hodgepodge has been contrived in our cellars. Much that is indescribable was accomplished there. And because we know so little, the poor in spirit please us heartily, particularly when they are young females. And we are covetous even of those things which the old females tell each other in the evening. That is what we ourselves call the eternal feminine in us. And, as if there were a special secret access to knowledge buried for those who learn something, we believe in the people and their wisdom. This, however, all poets believe, that whoever pricks up his ears as he lies in the grass or on lonely slopes will find out something about those things that are between heaven and earth. And when they feel tender sentiments stirring, the poets always fancy that nature herself is in love with them. And that she is creeping to their ears to tell them secrets and amorous flatteries. And of this they brag and boast before all mortals. Alas, there are so many things between heaven and earth of which only the poets have dreamed. And especially above the heavens, for all gods are poets, parables, poets' prevarications. Verily, it always lifts us higher, specifically to the realm of the clouds. Upon these we place our motley bastards and call them gods and overmen, for they are just light enough for us, these chairs. all these gods and overmen. Ah, how weary I am of all the imperfection which must at all costs become event. Oh, how weary I am of poets. When Zarathustra spoke thus, his disciple was angry with him, but he remained silent. And Zarathustra too remained silent, and his eye had turned inward, as if he were gazing into vast distances. At last he sighed, and he drew a deep breath. I am of today and before, he said then, but there is something in me that is of tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow, and the time to come. I have grown weary of the poets, the old and the new. Superficial they all seem to me, and shallow seas. Their thoughts have not penetrated deeply enough, therefore their feelings did not touch bottom. Some lust, and some boredom. That has so far been their best reflection. All their harp jingling is to me the breathing and flitting of ghosts. What have they ever known of the fervor of tones? Nor are they clean enough for me. They all muddy their waters to make them appear deep. And they like to pose as reconcilers, but mediators and mixers they remain for me, and half and unclean. Alas, I cast my net into their seas, and wanted to catch good fish, but I always pulled up the head of some old god. Thus the sea gave him who was hungry a stone, and they themselves may well have come from the sea. Certainly, pearls are found in them. They are that much more similar to hard shellfish, and instead of a soul, I often found salted slime in them. From the sea they learned even its vanity. Is not the sea the peacock of peacocks? Even before the ugliest buffalo, it still spreads out its tail and never wearies of its lace fan of silver and silk. Sulky, the buffalo stares back, close to the sand in his soul, closer still to the thicket, closest of all to the swamp. What are beauty and sea and peacock's finery to him? This parable I offer the poets. Verily, their spirit itself is the peacock of peacocks and a sea of vanity. The spirit of the poet craves spectators, even if only buffaloes. But I have grown weary of this spirit, and I foresee that it will grow weary of itself. I have already seen the poets change, with their glances turned back on themselves. I saw ascetics of the spirit approach. They grew out of the poets. Thus spoke Zarathustra.